Hey guys, so today I wanted to come and make this video for you. This is my second official video on my Sierra Sweetheart channel. I did intend to kind of keep the videos up a little bit more, you guys, but things have been so crazy. Oh my gosh, we just had too much going on. So unfortunately I wasn't able to do every single thing like in real time, but I have filmed so much content for you guys. I'm super excited to share it. First things that I want to hop into, make sure if you have not seen the video where I found out that I was pregnant, make sure you guys go back and check that out because that's a really fun and emotional video and I had a lot of fun making that one. And this will be the first official video, so I am going to be doing updates of my pregnancy because I want to bring, I know a lot of you guys have asked about my overall journey, and so I did want to include you guys. I have decided to set mine up as the trimesters, so I'm going to do trimester updates, first, second, and third, and we'll just do it like that. Obviously you guys can see that I'm no longer in my first trimester, but like I said, we're just gonna go through and I'm gonna tell you guys exactly how my first trimester was, and you'll still get the same experience. So first things first, the first trimester, which was like the first few weeks, pretty much that I found that I was pregnant right before you get to the point where most women decide to share it. For me, starting out, it wasn't too bad. I did have like some general fatigue. I did have like, you know, slight cramping here and there that was like reminiscent of as if I was going to get my period. So there was like a little bit of that. And then I actually did not have any vomiting, but I was nauseous. But morning sickness is something that I like kind of struggle with here and there anyway, so it wasn't like completely out of the normal for me. But the first trimester nausea was, I guess you could say, yeah, the nausea was, I'm gonna say it was not too terrible because, like I said, I never got to a point where I was so nauseous that I wanted to throw up. And for that reason alone, I'm gonna say it was just kind of like if I would have a Sprite or a ginger ale or something to settle my stomach, it would pretty quickly help me. I did not have like any bleeding. I know that some women have like a little bleeding in the first trimester. I didn't have any of that. As far as like my overall body, you really couldn't tell that I was pregnant for a while. I guess because, you know, a lot of times they say on your first one it takes things a bit longer to show. So in my first trimester it was more so like I was able to kind of hide it until we were ready to reveal our pregnancy to everyone. And then I was actually able to kind of like enjoy it with just like my husband and I, and then when we revealed it to family, of course. So that was nice to just kind of have that time. There was a lot of prayer going on because you guys know the first trimester is like obviously the most critical as far as I'm concerned, and from a lot of things that I had read, you know, the first trimester is the one where you really want to be careful. So like I spent a lot of time doing a lot of research, making sure I wasn't having anything that could like harm the baby at all. I was making sure, the first thing that I did when I found out I was pregnant was go and get my prenatal vitamins and my blood tests. So my provider had me come in, we did the blood test. As soon as it was confirmed, she wrote me a prescription right away. So I have been taking prescription prenatals this entire time. The prenatal vitamins made me a little nauseous, so I tried taking them at different times of the day. First thing in the morning didn't really work for me. And then midday kind of didn't work for me either because it would make me like either nauseous before breakfast and then I didn't want to eat, or it would make me nauseous in the middle of the day when I was trying to get stuff done. So I ended up taking them like, I would take them right after dinner or with dinner, and that way when I got nauseous over in the mid-morning, I was kind of still lying down asleep, and so it was a bit easier to kind of, you know, I don't know, it made more sense to me because if I was nauseous and I'm already lying down, I would just keep a little something at the bedside to kind of help me with that. My baby immediately started stretching, like I feel like she started stretching out my uterus immediately because of the cramping that I was having. It started out like a slight cramping, but then it would be like a little more intense cramping. And I actually couldn't, well I could, but it was very uncomfortable to sit like straight up I had to actually sit like recline like this, you know, for long rides or sitting for long periods of time, things like that. I really had to make sure that I was comfortable, like whenever we would travel, because we were at the time still living in North Carolina, my husband and I, and we were going to be moving to Florida, so we had come down a couple of times. But whenever we came down, it was like a full thing. Like, he had to line my entire seat with pillows, make sure that, you know, I could recline completely. So I did have a lot of discomfort as far as like the slight cramping. And at my first ultrasound, the doctor kind of insinuated like that the baby was a little bigger, or he said she was big for my frame. So that was part of the reason why it was like a bit more difficult for me to kind of, I guess, adjust to, you know, carrying the extra weight of the baby. Even though she wasn't really that big just yet, but she was like measuring great and everything. And he just said that for the way that my frame is down there, it just may have been a little bit much. I had to adjust to it. So that was another fun thing that happened in the first trimester, getting to see my baby for the first time. You know, we went for an ultrasound. We actually went for one with the physician, like the professional ultrasound, and then we actually, oh, she's coming out, she's listening. And then we actually went for a private one because so I was pregnant during the pandemic. Everybody knows about the pandemic. I don't want to go too deep into it because I want to keep this like happy and positive, but my pregnancy occurred during the pandemic, and so for that reason, a lot of the appointments and things were limited to like just the pregnant woman. And my husband wasn't able to come with me unless we were doing something like an ultrasound or something like some kind of serious test. So going to see my baby for the first time was like something that was very special for us. So we went ahead and did it twice. We saw her, you guys saw, if you follow us on our Nausea channel, you actually saw the first time that my husband saw the baby, which was very emotional for him. So I'll link it up here somewhere for those of you who have not seen it. But for those of you who have, you probably remember exactly how that video went. And when we went to our doctor's appointment, we just kind of kept that one a bit more private. You know, looked at everything with the doctor. He made sure everything was looking great, doing great. Okay, so some of the first things that told me I was pregnant, well, I took the test because I had like a little spotting, but the full-on thing never came. And my husband and I knew that we had decided to start trying, so that was kind of the little hint that let me know, oh, okay, it's probably time to take a pregnancy test. But I wrote an entire blog post all about that, so you guys can check that out over at my blog, sierrasweetheart.com. Again, I'll try to link that up here for those of you who may not know about that. But I'm going to be like incorporating all types of blog posts. I love, love, love to write. It's a part of how I express myself. Once the baby arrives, I plan to do like a lot more things over on my blog, as well as incorporating her into them. So, you know, it'll be kind of like mommy type stuff and like regular thoughts and emotions and things like that. So it's super fun. You guys go follow me over there if you're not following me already. But yeah, so one of the first telltale signs, apart from the obvious, was the breast tenderness. Literally, you guys, my breasts were tender the entire pregnancy, and they still, I feel like Karen in Mean Girls when she was like, there's a 99% chance it's already raining. But yeah, I have had breast tenderness the entire time. It never let up for me. It was literally like non-stop. So I couldn't lie on my, well, I mean, even in the beginning where they say it's still okay to lie on your stomach, I could not lie like that way because of how bad it hurt my breast. So that was one of the first things that I experienced, and it was, I would say, probably my most difficult symptom because I didn't really know what to do for them. Like, it seemed like everything I did only like further irritated the tenderness. It was a bit frustrating because it's like, okay, I have something that's hurting, throbbing, what can I do? Then I do something and it only lasts temporarily, you know, temporary relief or whatever. So one of the first things they told me when I called the doctor and they had confirmed that I was pregnant, they were like, do not take any leave and do not do any drinking, which of course I don't drink anyways, and I don't smoke, so there were no issues there. But I did occasionally take a leave for pain, so I had to make sure to, you know, put all the leave away, make sure that, you know, I had all those things that might be tempting far, far, far away from me so that I could champion my first trimester. But yeah, so basically, I guess to sum up how my first trimester update went, found that I was pregnant, took my test. Like I said, you guys can watch that entire video showing you the whole process on that. Told my husband about it. Again, there's a video on that. You can watch that as well. And I'll put all of these below for those of you who may be like joining me for the first time. If you don't already know who I am from my main channel, Sean and Sierra, then hi, nice to meet you. That's my little doggy Noelle. She loves to bark and hang out with me. She's in here sitting in here. I'm in my baby's nursery right now filming this video because I figured it would be a perfect place to do it. But yeah, so found out, told my husband about it, got my doctor's appointment scheduled right away to confirm the pregnancy. Got the blood test done, started my prenatal vitamins. I was having cramping. I actually did not take medication whatsoever. I kind of just toughed it out. I know a lot of people probably wouldn't want to do that, but that's just kind of how I did. I would just, whenever I started getting cramps, I would have a little water, try to stretch out, relax, and wait for them to pass over. I had the breast tenderness. I didn't really have a lot of, you know, solutions for that. It was something that kind of just, I don't want to say tormented me, but it was something that I kind of struggled with for a while, and I just, you know, came to live with it. But the breast tenderness for sure. I did have some nausea, no vomiting whatsoever. So for the nausea, I tried a couple of things that didn't really work out well until one day my mom was like, why don't you try a popsicle? So I had a popsicle, and for some reason it's like a freeze pop, the ones that come in the little plastic, like those worked wonders for me. So then from that moment on, I would always keep them like on deck, and I think it was something with like the combination of the ice and the flavor and the coolness, I don't know. I tried crackers, that didn't work for me. You know, all the things that people were recommending didn't work for me, so I had to find something that worked for me. You know, every pregnancy is different, like they say, so you just have to go with what works for you. But let's see, so those were my symptoms. I wasn't really showing that much in my first trimester as far as I'm concerned. I was still able to wear my outfits until I got towards kind of week 13-ish. That's when I finally started getting a little bit of a belly that was showing. But my baby did not like anything to be on my belly, so or on her, I guess. So I had to wear like leggings, maternity leggings. I was in those literally like by week 13. It was crazy. You know, so I would wear like my regular tops, but maternity bottoms. So, you know, just for the extra comfort and just because it helped with the cramping, because I found that if I would put something like tight on my belly, then the cramps were worse. So, you know, like I said, I found what worked for me, and I had to stick with that. As far as any other things that were predominant in my first trimester, I don't think there was a ton of stuff aside from what I've already told you guys. So yeah, that's my first trimester kind of in a nutshell. You know, like I said, we found out it was amazing. We got right on it with, you know, doing all the things that we needed to do. So I just wanted to share that part of my journey with you guys. Like I said, for those of you who are interested in hearing more, I really go into detail about like the day I found out, the day I told my husband, all that stuff on my blog. So you can check out my blog over there if you were interested in that type of thing. But otherwise, make sure you stay tuned for my second trimester update, which is a bit more different because there's a lot more going on. So I'll talk to you guys in the next video.